Richard Etheridge was a slave who was raised on Roanoke Island. He is believed to be the son of his master, John B. Etheridge. He was born in 1842, and although he was a slave, he wasn't treated as a slave. He was raised in the Etheridge's household. He was taught to read and write. His experience was a little different than slavery as many people know it because he was educated. Shortly after the Battle of Roanoke Island broke out here during the Civil War, he joined the 36th Regiment of Colored Troops and fought in the Civil War, and ultimately rose to the rank of a sergeant before returning back to Roanoke Island and beginning his career here. When he returned, he got married, he farmed and fished, and he joined the United States Lifesaving Service. Here in the Outer Banks, they had what's called checkerboard crews. So blacks could serve in the United States Lifesaving Service as surfman number 6, which would have been the lowest in rank. And that was no different for Richard Etheridge. He served at the Pea Island Lifesaving Station, which would have been very near where the Pea Island Lighthouse stands now. A pretty remarkable thing happens because Richard Etheridge was surfman number 6 for 5 years, the lowest in rank. And then in 1880, he is asked to be the keeper or the captain, the head person in charge of a neighboring station, the Pea Island Lifesaving Station. There was a shipwreck that had occurred. The former keeper of the station was accused of not handling it properly. So Etheridge was asked to take charge of that station. So he goes from the very lowest in rank to the very top in rank. It's still shortly after the Civil War. Now, the first thing that happens is the white surfmen that were left at Pea Island Station refused to work for him, couldn't work for him, didn't work for him, but so they left. This is how the all-black Pea Island Lifesaving Station starts. So the station just continually gained a reputation of being one of, if not the best station on the coast. They are most known for a rescue that occurred in October 1896, the rescue of the schooner E.S. Newman, a schooner traveling down from Providence, Rhode Island. Who's on board? The captain, his wife, his 3-year-old son, in the middle of a severe storm, a hurricane. So the captain of the E.S. Newman grounded the ship. One of the surfmen, Theodore Meekins, who was on patrol, thought he saw a flare. And he went and he grabbed Keeper Richard Etheridge, and then they see another flare. And they realize that a ship is in trouble. They couldn't launch the surf boat. They couldn't use the Lyle gun. So Etheridge basically asked for 2 volunteers, 2 of his best swimmers. And they tie ropes around themselves. And they swim out to the E.S. Newman. And while Etheridge and the other surfmen are at shore holding that line. And the rescue starts at 9 p.m. And by 1 a.m. in the morning, they had rescued all 9 on board. One of the most significant rescues probably in the history of the United States Lifesaving Service, especially considering the method that they performed the rescue. 100 years later, in March 1996, Etheridge and his crew were posthumously awarded the U.S. Coast Guard Gold Lifesaving Medal. He died at the station at 58 years old, believed to be due to malaria. But even after Etheridge died, the station continued having African-American keepers and African-American crews until it closed in 1947. Etheridge really opened the door of opportunity for so many African American men from around here to join the United States Lifesaving Service and subsequently the United States Coast Guard.